Immigration agencies use AI for various tasks, from screening applications to active surveillance, tracking and surveillance. Immigration and Customs Enforcement uses technology from Palantir, a software company, to power its enforcement efforts. The new system, called Deportations, is designed to analyze data from multiple government databases, including IRS and Social Security records, to identify and track non-citizens for removal proceedings. Predictive risk assessment. ICE also uses algorithms, sometimes called hurricane scores, to predict the likelihood that a person in their alternatives to detention program will fail to check in. This assessment influences decisions about detention and monitoring. Facial recognition. At border crossings, Customs and Border Protection uses facial recognition to match individuals against photo repositories and security flags. Other apps used by migrants in ACT programs also rely on facial recognition to verify their identity and location. Social media screening. Tools like Babbel, used by CBP, analyze social media content to identify potential threats or individuals who need additional inspection. In October 2025, several unions filed a lawsuit to stop an AI-powered social media surveillance program, alleging it suppresses free speech by targeting immigrants with hostile attitudes toward the government. Automated case processing. U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services uses AI to screen and flag asylum applications for potential fraud by looking for common language patterns. The agency is also developing tools to classify individuals as fraud, safety, or security threats. Significant concerns and controversies. The use of AI in immigration has drawn heavy criticism from civil rights groups, privacy advocates, and legal experts. Bias and discrimination. AI algorithms are trained on existing data, which may contain historical biases that disadvantage minority groups. In the asylum context, studies have found that AI tools can reinforce existing disparities, and critics worry that AI could exacerbate existing prejudices. Erosion of due process. Critics argue that relying on AI for critical, life-altering decisions, including detention, asylum eligibility, and deportation, undermines the due process rights of immigrants. Because algorithms are often opaque, it can be difficult to challenge AI-driven decisions. Inaccuracies and errors. AI systems are not infallible and can make errors or hallucinate information that appears legitimate but is false. The high stakes of immigration cases mean that even a small error rate can have life-changing consequences, such as wrongful detention or deportation. Lack of transparency and oversight. Despite federal guidelines, immigrant and human rights organizations allege that DHS has fast-tracked the deployment of AI technologies without sufficient public disclosure or risk assessment. In September 2024, a group of over 140 organizations called on DHS to suspend the use of non-compliant AI systems. Surveillance concerns. Critics worry that expanding AI-powered surveillance, including facial recognition and social media monitoring, could lead to unchecked tracking of individuals, including citizens, and chilling effects on free speech. Global context. Concerns about AI in immigration are not limited to the U.S. European Union. The EU is integrating AI into its immigration and asylum procedures to improve efficiency. However, organizations have raised concerns about the impact on human rights and the potential for algorithmic bias in asylum decisions. For example, the UI Act is a new regulation, but its effectiveness in asylum is uncertain. United Kingdom. In 2020, The UK Home Office abandoned an e-visa tool after legal challenges demonstrated bias. However, in 2025, reports indicate the UK is again planning to use AI to process asylum claims, a move that rights groups warned could have dangerous consequences.
Ferrari, live an easy life without a care in my Ferrari. Leave all your care controls behind in my Ferrari. We get there whenever and we're still on time in my Ferrari.